I've heard negative things about the alternative factor, but I have to admit, personally, I quite enjoy the alternative factor. I don't consider it a great episode, but I think visually it can be fairly captivating, and it's just, I don't know, I like the dense sci-fi concept that it proposes, even if we could argue that the execution is a bit messy. Um, some could consider it like not dissimilar enough to the likes of Charlie X, but I don't know. I think they actually managed to pull something fascinating and vaguely original out of the premise of a all-powerful humanoid being. It's yeah. Again, like I like Star Trek the original series when it's experimenting in the evocative possibilities of television color, which not a huge amount of programs are doing at that time, and not as effectively in retrospect, I think, as Star Trek does. And I like to think the alternative factor would be an interesting example of how you could compile a reel of the most interesting sort of original, distinct moments from the Star Trek original series. You could pull some brief clips from the alternative factor, I strongly believe. If you have to judge a Star Trek episode by sheer enjoyment factor, I do get a kick out of the alternative factor. It's one of these episodes where, especially like you can watch it by yourself, and I mean, it can drag a little bit, but there are a couple of 5 to even 10 minute stretches where I have to consider it thoroughly entertaining, and watching it in company, like trading quips of one another in between dialogue, things like that. It's the time for the what the 40 50 minute runtime flies by fairly swiftly. I think. No, I don't have all that much negative to share about the alternative factor. I'm not going to consider it a classic of the show, although enjoyable. Like I try not to assess it critically. Just watch it, washes over me, have a fun time. I'm not necessarily in a place to defend it because I think some of the criticisms of it appear to be valid. It's just more that the actual experience of the episode, I simply don't really care about all the criticisms, even though I don't know if I can deny them or feel motivated to whatsoever, as I said.